Ever caught yourself talking to yourself and then suddenly wondered, wait, am I weird? What if I told you that some of the smartest and most self aware people do it every single day without even realizing it? Because talking to yourself isn't always a sign that something is wrong. In psychology, it can actually reveal a lot about how your mind works. Think about it. You lose your keys, and suddenly you're saying, okay, where did I put them? You make a mistake and whisper, bro, what was that? You prepare for an argument in your head, out loud. Or maybe you motivate yourself with, come on, you got this. Most people do this way more than they admit. The interesting part is there are actual reasons behind it. Psychologists call this self-talk. And according to research, talking to yourself can improve focus, memory, emotional control, and decision-making. That's why athletes do it. Students do it before exams. Even successful people use it to organize their thoughts. Your brain sometimes processes information better when it hears it out loud. Now, here's where it gets really relatable. People who talk to themselves are often deep thinkers. Their minds move fast, sometimes too fast. So instead of letting thoughts stay trapped inside their heads, they speak them out loud to make sense of them. It's almost like turning chaos into clarity. Have you ever noticed that you talk to yourself more when you're stressed? That's not random. When people feel overwhelmed, self-talk becomes a coping mechanism. Your brain is basically trying to calm itself down. That's why people say things like, relax, it's okay, one step at a time. Without realizing it, they're becoming their own emotional support system. And honestly, sometimes talking to yourself happens because there's nobody else around who fully understands what's happening in your head. So your mind creates its own conversation. Not because you're crazy, but because humans naturally process emotions through communication. Here's another thing most people don't realize. The way you talk to yourself matters a lot, because your brain listens to your own voice more than you think. If your self-talk is constantly, I'm useless, I always fail, I can't do anything right, your mind slowly starts believing it. But if you train yourself to say, I'll figure it out, I'm improving, I can handle this, your mindset begins to change too. This is why negative self-talk is so dangerous. Some people smile in public but destroy themselves mentally in private, and nobody hears it except them. Meanwhile, positive self-talk can build confidence over time. Not fake confidence, real confidence. The kind that comes from learning how to guide your own mind instead of fighting it. Now, let's talk about the people who create fake conversations in their heads. You know exactly what I mean. Imaginary arguments, imaginary interviews, imaginary scenarios that will probably never happen. You replay moments, you prepare speeches, you imagine comebacks hours later. Psychology says this usually happens because the brain is trying to gain control over uncertainty. Your mind wants to feel prepared, so it rehearses situations before they even happen. And introverts especially tend to do this a lot, not because they're antisocial, but because they spend more time in their inner world. Their thoughts become so active that sometimes speaking out loud feels natural. But here's the craziest part. Studies have shown that talking to yourself using your own name can actually help with emotional control. For example, instead of saying, I'm stressed, you say, John, calm down, you'll handle this. It creates psychological distance, helping your brain think more clearly under pressure. So the next time you catch yourself talking to yourself, don't immediately assume something is wrong with you. Sometimes it means you're thinking deeply, processing emotions, solving problems, or simply trying to survive mentally in a stressful world. Because the truth is, the human mind was never silent. Some people just hide the conversation better than others. If you related to this video, chances are you've had full conversations with yourself before. And honestly, most people have.